While the army is gearing up for Troy, the wind dies. Commander Agamemnon accepts a heavy offering to the gods so the troops can move. It rips a piece from the family's heart. The way opens, the ships depart, the years drag on. When he returns in triumph, the seer Cassandra is with him. Purple crimson textiles are laid across the palace threshold. Clytemnestra greets the ceremony with a smile, but inside, she's a set of scales that's been waiting for years. Every detail that looks like hospitality is part of a plan. In the steam of the bath, boundaries blur, the trap snaps shut. Clytemnestra believes she's reset the house's balance with her own hands. After that, a new order of powers is set up in the palace, but the shadow of that order is long. Years later, Orestes returns, settles the account written into the family's fate, and a new decision echoes down the quiet halls. When that spiral settles over the city, Athena appears. She sets up an assembly in place of private score settling. Testimony is heard. Votes are counted. Old anger is given a new job. Procedure takes the place of revenge, and the city learns to breathe again. Now lay this story over real life. A regular Sunday afternoon in America. The smell of cake coming out of the oven. The game on TV. The grocery list on the counter. Someone walks in the door or a message lights up the screen, and the air in the room changes at once. The victory lines you'd recite to outsiders feel inside like a shiny cover thrown over an unfinished morning. One person wants to say, "Welcome home." The other wants to ask, "Where were you?" Both are right, but said at the same time, they make the floor tremble. Right there, Clytemnestra turns into a feeling, "I'll set the balance myself." That thought is powerful because it gives instant control. But any balance set by feel carries a hidden warp. It gives a burst of relief and leaves a long echo. That's what keeps you tracing the ceiling lines at night. The fog of unsaid words, the sweat of postponed confrontations, the smell of decisions gift-wrapped as had to be done. In a home, balance isn't a one-time performance. It's a repeating ritual. Where there's no ritual, anger tries to play architect. It builds walls, shuts doors, splits rooms. Yet walls don't usually protect us. They rise so we can't hear each other. To breathe, you need a table, stripped of names, where I and you don't brawl and event and impact do the talking. When that happened, here's what happened in me, and here's what I need now. May not sound like poetry, but it's a bridge. It's designed to bear weight. The beauty of bridges comes not from ornaments, but from what they can carry. The palace steam wanders into kitchens today. We say, "We're getting clean," and only warm the surface. The ache underneath stays. We say, "I feel better," and when relief gets confused with solution, it comes right back. Think of the fine weave Clytemnestra made for years. One stitch silence, one stitch remembering, one stitch patience. One day that weave can't be yanked out in a single pull. Try it, and you'll tear the fabric of the house. That's why repair isn't a belated big scene. It needs small, steady work. Work that keeps time, calls timeouts, sets word limits, and ties memory to the future without belittling it. Where's Cassandra? Every home has one. The voice that says, "If this keeps up, we'll break." The suggestion, "A neutral eye might help." The sentence, "I'm getting hurt here." It's easy to hush that voice. No time, no budget, not now. Every hushed Cassandra leaves an empty chair in the council above the city. When that chair's empty, the decision gets made back in the steam room. Steam wipes out detail. We act as if specifics don't exist. But detail is the spine of justice. What happened, what effect it had, what's preventable, what's repairable. Until those get said out loud, anger finds itself a job, punishing, not protecting. Is forgiveness easy? Number, and it isn't always required. Sometimes keeping the door closed is self-protection. But let's name forgiveness right. It isn't shredding the bill, it's reclassifying the line items. Moving entries from the payback column to the repair column, adding dates and conditions, putting measurable markers beside them. Transparent timelines, verifiable behavior change, a real intent not to repeat. Trust doesn't arrive by declaration. It arrives by stacking transparent bricks. Each brick has to be visible, or the bridge sways in the first gust. The same math runs at work. Cuts explained as had to, objections no one heard, a sting collecting in the white space of emails. Teams set up in visible courts. Verdicts are reached before the meeting, and the meeting is just set dressing. A truly strong organization looks like Athena's table. Roles clear, rules plain, channels for objection open, pathways for repair spelled out. There's a better question than who's to blame. It's how do we fix the damage without spreading it? That question assigns anger to a useful job, protection, not punishment. Friendships look familiar too. A promise slips, a secret grows heavy, a delay gets misread. We want to straighten the scales in one move. That move is usually a quiet door close. The harder choice is to step back and speak with method. When that happened, this rose up in me, and for what comes next, I need this. It isn't a romantic line, but every step after it builds the climate where romance can live. Big gestures are like a storm. They impress for a while, then exhaust everything. Small, steady gestures are like a season. They let things live. Here's the sharpest lesson of the myth. When one hand sets the balance, others end up carrying the cost. Justice stands when it's shared. Clytemnestra's certainty closed one chapter, but opened other ledgers. Athena's table tied apology and repair not to a mood, but to a system. We live between two symbols, a purple carpet and a plain table. The carpet makes you feel amazing and collects its fee later. The table asks a lot of you and then carries you. Tonight, do something simple when you get home. Turn the light up one notch, then down one notch. Notice your breath. Write 3 short lines in a notebook tied to today. What happened? What happened in me? What do I need now? Those 3 lines soften Clytemnestra's certainty and make room for Athena's table. And you'll see this. Even the heaviest stories become carryable when they're handled with method. The strongest justice isn't made of big words. It's made of well-built rituals that get repeated until they hold, keeping the house steady every time it shakes. Fold up the purple carpet, slide it into the closet, pull the table to the window. The wind may die again, but this time you know how to walk.